Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs, and I'm here with you here for a little craft with me. I have been working on some tags, and I had done quite a few of them already. I kind of did these when I was on vacation, and I'll kind of show them to you just one at a time real quick. I had done these, and I thought maybe you guys might want to see how I did them. And I used the collage papers that I made in another video with you guys, and I thought maybe you might want to see what we did with that after. So anyway, I'm just kind of letting you see them all, so that way you can kind of, you know, decide if you want to watch or not. And then I'm going to try a different process because, you know, I don't want everything to look the same. And anyway, I've made all these. So, what I used, first of all, the card base is made from the collaging that we did, and then the paper. This was Transform Your Ugly Paper. Let me see if I have one handy I can show you. Yeah, here we go. Let me get them. Okay. These were these papers that we did. I did a lot more afterwards. This one I hadn't inked up yet. This is the brown one that everyone thought was so ugly, and then later we transformed it into that. And these were just ugly papers that we had, and then we kind of just did that. I usually, when I do them, I usually do a lot at a time, and then I keep them handy because they do make really good card bases. So this one, since it was just one, just the scrapbook paper, and we gessoed over it and then later inked it. It was kind of thin, so I added coffee paper to the back and then sewed around it. These are the ones that were just where I tried not to do a lot of different color papers, just kind of the same. And then I inked over that. Here's some more of those. And then this is the one that was very textured. And then I did that. I haven't inked that yet because I kind of want to see what I'm put on it, how much I want to ink it. This is one of the plain ones I've inked. This is one of the ones that we did that I gessoed over it, and I'm sure, and I had people saying, oh, you ruined it. No, and then after that I put some ink on it, and it has a really cool texture to it. I really like that. Anyway, and here's these. Now these I tried to use a lot of different papers so you could really see, you know, the different papers in there. And this one was kind of weird because I had taken my Yes glue and then I tried to Mod Podge over it, and the two didn't mix well, and it made kind of a weird, interesting texture. But boy, I like it. It's really neat. I sanded it a little bit, but I think it's just really cool. And here's another one kind of like that. Anyway, those are what I'm using to make all these. And I'm probably not going to do, you know, all of them the same. I've used a lot of different cutouts, but I'm mainly using field notes, and mainly because for what I'm doing in the journals I'm doing, these kind of go really well. This is just an extra package that I have that I haven't opened up yet, but I thought I'd show you that. And then, honestly, I have a lot of other things that I use. This is botanicals, and then there's other things mixed in there. Let's see. This is field note snippets, and I really don't use a lot of those because they're very, very small, but occasionally I'll need a really small element, I'll use one of those. It's basically all the field note snippets is pretty much the same stuff you get field notes, except they're smaller. And then yeah, this is the original field note, so I'll probably use a lot of that. I also am using, these are these vellum stickers. You've all seen me use them before, and I like to use those kind of as a background. If you'll see, like in this tag, they will be in the background, and then I'll have some other elements. I've heard people say that they especially don't like the botanicals because they're so thick, but I kind of really do, because like if you see this butterfly, now this is the field note, so it's not quite as thick, but that's good too, because what it does is it makes certain elements just pop off of the tag, and then it's honestly not that thick of a tag, you know. It really isn't. It's not that much more than, you know, if you don't put a ton of lace or thick lace and stuff on them, they're not really that thick. So, but what happens is with that is it has, the element pops off, and then like this is higher than the fly, and then here you've got this. So what it does is it makes it look very dimensional, and like something's coming forward and something's in the background, and I really love that. That's why I like to use these vellum stickers, is because they're even thinner, and you know, then they're in the background. Like I'll show you this one. This is really a good contrast. Like here I have the vellum stickers here, and then I have this is one from the botanicals, and you know, they're thicker, and so it just makes it look like it's, you know, popping off. And I think behind that I have some die cut. So there's a little bit of piece of a die cut back there just to give it even more dimension. And you know, the trick is with these, I like to add as much texture as I can without it being too bulky, because these are really, they're not thick. They'll fit in a journal, because you know, if you're new to journaling, you're going to find out your biggest enemy is the bulkiness of items. If you add everything you want to add to a tag or something, or to a page, you know, you can only have 10 pages in your journal. So in any case, what I like to do is add as much texture as I can and not make it bulky. And so when you do the decoupage or any kind of mixed media behind it, it gives it some texture. The sewing gives it texture, and then you know, what you put on it. And if you were to put 3 flat elements on there, they might still look good, but they're not going to look the same as if you you know, have one that's kind of, you know, a little bit like, here's another one I did with butterflies, not original. I did the same thing. Like for instance, this. Okay, so on this one, I have mushrooms in the background, right? And then I put some mushrooms in the foreground. So it's the same thing, but it gives it dimension. And then I added lace up here and down here, and it's still not that thick. And this is done on one of those tags that we made that have all the paper, and made it very, that in itself is dimensional. So anyway, that's kind of the idea of how I do these. Like this one, it doesn't have any of the stickers behind it, but what it does have is it has a flatter ticket, then it has a label that's a little bit higher, and then it has this one of the botanical flowers that are even thicker. And so just those 3 layers give you dimension. And then it has, you know, a material tag, and also you've got the sewing gives it even more texture. And to me, that's what I think makes them look good. Here's the other one, same thing. We've got this in the background, and then we've got our other mushrooms from the field notes in front. And so that really that's all it is. There's nothing really, you know, elaborate other than we've made this dimensional. So it gives it more interest. Here's a really good example. Like on this one, we've got the sticker taking up almost most of the background, okay? And then behind that we have our dimensional decoupage. That's another thing too. I mean, you can have papers that look like they're, you know, dimensional, and a lot of times that's a good thing to put on there, but in person, like, I don't know if you can really tell on camera, you can see the texture in all this. And you know, I know some people don't like to do that because it gets bulky, but honestly, you should put, I think, a few of those in every journal, just because it just gives, there's so much interest to it. Because you've got a stamp behind here, then you've got a label, you've got lace down here, and these are all texture, okay? And then you've got your sticker, and behind your sticker you've got your you know, your tag that we made, and then you've got a butterfly that's even higher. So that one really gives you an idea of all the different textures and dimension that are on just this one tag, and it's not that bulky. Let me see if there's another one kind of like that. It gives you an idea. Yeah, here's a couple right here. These are kind of, all right, here's a few. Like, here's another one. Okay, so this one, we've got our tag that has dimension. Then we've got the sticker is in the background with the flowers, but we've also got a stamp back there, a little specimen card. Then we've got another little label here. And then we have two butterflies and a little bit of burlap. So that adds a lot of texture, and it's not that bulky. So I don't know. See, I just think that does, it's just an interesting tag. Okay, this is the same kind of thing. We've got something raised in front that's a little bit more dimensional. Then we've got our sticker. This is butterflies, more dimensional, a little bit of lace. And of course you've got a ticket over here. The ticket's behind. So you're layering it out is what you're doing. Let's see here if I've got, this one's kind of like that. This is, okay, so you've got a stamp and you've got a label, then you've got this over here, and then you've got a butterfly down here, and then this is very dimensional. And then again, you know, your tag has dimension to it, and then again, that's what this sewing does, is it adds more texture to it. Okay, here's another example. Okay, so this one, you've got your stickers in the very background, and you've got dimension with this butterfly, and then you've got this flower up here, but then you've got a couple of stamps over here, and that adds some dimension, and then you've got eyelash trim, and that adds, you know, dimension and texture. So anyway, that's the idea, is that what you're doing is you're building on these, and I think that is what makes them a little bit more interesting. Of course, you know, you can't have a ton of them in there, but I like to use at least, you know, 2 or 3 in a journal like that. But anyway, I thought we'd make some of those, and if we have time, we'll do a different style. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take different tags. Like, here's a smaller one. Maybe here's a larger one, and from different styles of what we made, so that we can see how they look. Okay, this one is the very textured one that we did, and I just really think that is so cool. I ended up not inking these up as much as I thought I would, because I really like all that, but I kind of hate to cover it all up. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out kind of what I want to put on here. And the first thing is I'll go through, and I have several different things of, you'll have to excuse me because I have a ton of these little boxes. So I have to go through them all just to remember what I'm going to do. All right, let's see. I have another one of these. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so the first thing I usually do is I figure out what I'm putting in the background. And I think on this one, I don't know if it'll work. I kind of want to put that because I think I love this whole floral thing. If that's wide enough, I think that'll be wide enough. I think so. So I want to do that. So now if I'm going to do that, now I have to figure out what other things I'm going to add. And sometimes I'll put several of these little sticker things on there. Sometimes I'll just put the one. This one's pretty big, so I'll probably just put the one. And I don't know, I might put like something like that. I just start looking through my stuff. You know, it could be a label. It could be, who knows, right? I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. I just kind of play it by ear. Like maybe that. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so then I do that. And I've got my stamps over here. There's always stuff mixed together too, because sometimes I'll be in a hurry and then, like, see, this does not belong in there, so I'm going to move that over here. That doesn't belong in there. I don't know how all this stuff got in there. I've got to move it. All right. See, here's some field note stuff that doesn't belong in there. Oh, boy, I'll tell you. Anyway, so kind of what I do is I just go through it. I'm just pulling this stuff out. Sorry, guys. And let's see. I might want a stamp on there. I might not. Just depends if I find one that makes me think, oh, I have to use it. Like here's one. I kind of like that small one. I might use that somewhere. And then I want a focal point up here. I mean, it could be a butterfly, it could be a bug, it could be, you know, who knows. Maybe, that's a maybe. You know, and the other thing is I think about the colors in it and what colors are in there and what do I want to, you know, like I might want to use that instead of the other. I'll put it down there. I put all my maybes down there, and then what I do is I just kind of audition them. All right, so, oh, here's a cool looking stamp. And just keep kind of looking through and see, do I want a bug? Do I want a butterfly? Do I want... Who knows, right? I don't know. I think I'm going to go with what I have right there. I'm not going to overthink this. Because a lot of times, what you go with first is usually the best. That might show up more. I don't know. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to work with that. And this is pretty much all I do, is I just kind of go through stuff until I find what I think I want. I don't really ever, I like that's kind of small, but it's the wrong color. All right, so let's just see. I think that's too green. That kind of actually blends in a lot, but I don't know. Might be good. All right, let's see. So I'm going to put that in the background. Maybe I'll put that butterfly up there. Or maybe I'll, let me see. I have a whole nother thing of butterflies in here. And I don't necessarily put all items that are related on here because, I don't know, it just kind of limits you too much. See, I've tried one time, I separated all my butterflies out, but I don't know, they're all mixed everywhere, so I have to spend some time doing that again. Okay, so maybe that one. The reason I'm looking at these is the ones from the botanicals, like I said, they're more dimensional, and they're a little thicker, so they're going to look more dimensional. But I kind of want to get it the right color. It doesn't really have to be, you know. Okay, so that might look good. I don't know. And I didn't sort this out ahead of time because honestly, guys, that's kind of my point, is I want you to see the process of what you do, you know, just to kind of give you an idea. Oh, this one might work actually. That might be it. That might be the one, unless it blends in too much. No, not really. Nope, I think that's the ticket. I think I'm going to put all these in my other butterflies. Little section here. I don't like that there. Maybe this one. So maybe we'll put a couple. I don't know yet. All right, and then so move these over to the other butterflies. I just haven't gone through and picked through them all yet, and I had at one time, and it just, I don't know. Okay, so maybe I put this down here. This over here. I don't want to put too many square things, so maybe I'll put this right here and then that over here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I might put another stamp. I don't know. I don't want it too busy, but I do want it to, I might just put the one butterfly. I might just put this one, because that one kind of blends in a lot. I think I'm just going to do that. Okay, so anyway, then what I do is I'm going to go ahead and ink this up a little before I put it down. The thing about these stickers, and they're not really vellum, I mean, they're see-through. I wish they would be on the white parts, be more see-through, but then if you think about it, then you really wouldn't be able to see this when you put it on. It would be, you know, you would be totally see-through. I guess so. You can't really have it both ways. Anyway, I take my little makeup brush thing, and I use the really small one, and I'll go around all the edges of this and here. Let me move that. I'm kind of putting too much on there. And what it does is it darkens the whole thing, but it really makes it blend better on the tag. I'm trying to go around the edges a little bit, but I'm not being very successful. Let me get a piece of paper so I can do that. You would think with all the stuff I have that I would have a piece of paper, right? Here we go. That way it won't make such a mess. And I can kind of get to the edges better. So I'm getting to the edges, and I really am trying to make them blend, so I'm not so much inking them to stand out. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll just use this one and kind of go all over, because this is kind of a different thing. You're trying to make it blend and not really stand out, so you're not trying to ink the edges too much. You're just trying to get it all ready to go. See, now if you look, it kind of blends in a little better. Now that tag needs to be inked. So I'm going to go ahead and do these. Where'd my inking thing go? Okay, here we go. And just do the edges on all of these. Anyway, I hope everybody, I'm not using that, I'm not using that. I'm going to move all these. See, this is how they get mixed up. Is what happens is I will pull out a bunch of things and then I don't put them away. I have my little jar here, my little thing. This is what I use it for, is I put this little stuff in. I can't remember if I put that in there or not. I don't think I did. So things don't get too mixed up. But they do sometimes. I don't spend the time to put them back where they belong, like the stamps and the stamps and the butterflies and the butterflies and yada yada yada. So then I just wind up with you know, kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, and I have to spend the time putting it all away. But that's okay. All right, let me move some of that off of there. So I am trying to get caught up on some things around the house, which to me is so boring, but you know what? It's necessary. And I took a break and I thought I got to do some crafting. The bad thing is this is like I go in here and I disappear, you know, for like the whole day. So I have to watch myself because I'm really bad about that. Okay, so I'm going to take, this is just a makeup brush, but it's really cool. It's like a stippling brush, and this is really good if you don't want to ink too much all over something, but you want to add a little bit, and it works really well. This works good too, but it goes on a little darker, and I'm trying not to do too much of that on this. I just want a little bit, and that's just to kind of make it all blend. I am going to do the sides. But anyway, yeah, the cool thing about making those big collage sheets like that and cutting them out is that it's kind of a neutral base and it works really well. And like all those tags, I mean, I'll use them for like, you know, at least, you know, quite a few journals. I mean, I'll just have a stash of them. If I think I'm going to make a lot of the same kind of journal, that's what I'll do. So, oh, I didn't do this, I don't think. Okay, so first I'm going to put my background on. I'm telling you, these stickers are really hard to, the things are hard to get off the back. So you kind of have to mess with them a bunch and get it started. Sometimes they come off pretty easy. Sometimes not. Okay, this one's not too bad. You have to watch because it'll kind of roll on you. But they're not the easiest thing to get off. They're not impossible, but they're... I would give you the link to where I got these. I got them on Amazon, but I couldn't find it. Well, I did. They're not, it's not there. So they're not selling anymore. So I don't know why, but I did look, and they do have other ones like this, but all they are is, there's different styles. There's the botanicals, and then there's the, you know, like the floral type. And there's just different kinds. You just kind of have to look. And I bought a little bit of each. And I actually use them way more than I thought I was going to. When I first got them, I thought, I don't know if I like these. But boy, I think I use them a lot. Okay, so I'm going to kind of position this. Not quite at the top, but, you know, like right here. Because I'm going to have a lot of stuff on the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... Where did my... thing go that I had out earlier? Well, I guess I'll just use my bone folder. I'll just use a bone folder. I just kind of want to make sure, because this is so bumpy, I want to make sure that this gets down. I might have to put some glue on there. I guess I could use my glue stick. That might work, but I'll just use this. It's kind of bumpy, so I want to make sure that this gets down good. These usually stick pretty good, but you know, sometimes on the ends you may have to go back in. I haven't really had any issues with them sticking, but like I said, this is very, this particular one, the other ones aren't so much, but this one is. So I'm going to make sure that I got all the little ends down. And I could have used my glue stick for that probably. Got a big old wad of glue on the bottom of that. All right, so anyway, gonna do that. And then this is just a sticker thing. I think I got this from AliExpress. And if you look out there and you just look for journaling stickers or whatever, I got a big bunch of them. At first I didn't really care for them, but now I'm thinking I like them. So, you know, things kind of grow on me when I find uses for them. When I first get them, I go, that's not what I thought it was going to be. And, you know, you eventually think, oh, and you know, okay, so I do not remember how I had this. I think I did it something like that. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. I think I might use this in the corner down here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so anyway, what I like to do is just kind of get it all situated. I might put this a little bit higher up, like about, oh, is that upside down? I really need to put my glasses on. Yeah, it was upside down. So I'm going to overlap that over here. And I like to overlap things. I don't know, I just think it looks better that way. And like I said, these are different thicknesses. So what happens is you end up with interest just because you have different, you know, actually I want to put this behind, so this isn't dry yet. Okay, this is going to go behind here, I think. Oh, upside down again. Jeez. All right, and I want that. I don't want it the same. Well, maybe up here. That's crooked. Hold on. Yeah, that's kind of more of what I wanted, but I didn't want it quite that crooked. Hold on. Gee. Oh, don't rip. There we go. There we go. That's better. That's kind of sort of what I wanted. Not exactly, but it'll work. And then I'm going to put this somewhere up here. So it's kind of my focal point in this. You know, I've got all this going on down here, but I've got this focal point up here. I don't know. Maybe put it this way. Yeah, I think it needs to go kind of like right there. And you know, you could add eyelash trim, gauze, and all that, but I'm not doing that on these just because I do want to keep them kind of flat, and you know, I don't want to add too much dimension to them because I have a lot of other things going in the journal that are going to be like that. And occasionally I'll put a tiny bit of lace and things on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that on this. I kind of like it the way it is. So let me get my big box of scraps out, because honestly, it's getting ridiculous. It's starting to get to the point where I won't be able to use it out of this, so it's getting really bad. I think I'm going to use that. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Let's see what I have already that's not too big and bulky. And all right, let's see, maybe, no, I don't know. Oh, here we go, maybe this will work. Okay, oops, let me move this out of the way. All right, so I might put just a tiny bit right here just to kind give it a little bit more texture. And I usually always use my 3-in-1 glue or tacky glue when I use lace and stuff, just because I think it holds it down a little bit better. For paper, I like using our glitter glue, because I've had people ask me which glue I like the best, and honestly, that's hard to answer, because I just think I use different glues for different things. Okay, so I'm going to punch a hole in the top. These things always get clogged up. Always, always, always. Okay. Put it kind of sort of in the middle. And then I'm going to use this because it has a lot of red in it. I think I'll look cool. And I use this little stylist here because a lot of times that's what I use to poke it through. Just, I mean, you can do it with your fingers, but it's easy. Just makes it easier. So anyway, I think that's it on this one. I'm going to cut this shorter. All right, and usually what I do on my tags is I'll put a dab of glue right here, just to kind of make sure that the knot stays in nice and tight. And that's it, guys. So there we go. That's one of them. And, you know, that has a lot of dimension to it, but it's not that bulky. Let me cut this off just a little bit more even. You know, so let's just do another one. We'll take, so that was the plain one. I'm trying to find different things that we used. Let's see, do I have another one like that that's bigger? Yeah, so this is the one that I did that had the different, you know, papers on it, but then we put gesso over it, and then we went over it. And it's just really, I don't know, this is just a really cool texture. I really love how it turns out. In fact, I really want to make a cover using that because I think it'd be really neat. Okay, let's try and do something a little different. Maybe I'll use a shorter one for this. That one, or do I have a really short one? Let me look. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. It's the same texture, but I want to do something different. Okay, so I'm going to go through my stacks over here. I don't ever know what I'm going to use until I get there, so I think on this one, I'm going to, yeah, okay, so I have these, and these are a little bit different. Again, these are, I'm going for the you know what, maybe I will make a bigger one. Could use that. I'm going to do the mushrooms this time, so I'm going to pull out some and see that's the same. See what I want to do. And like I said, the only way to really do this is just take things out and go through it, and then kind of audition them and decide where you want it. Let's see. See, here's a stamp in here that doesn't belong in here. Okay. Yeah, I need to spend some time just kind of sorting through all this because I mixed it all up. I think some of them up, and I did have them all separated at one time, but I don't know if I want that one with it. Yeah, maybe that. And you know, sometimes I'll put layers of this stuff, the stickers on, because believe it or not, they'll look good. So I'm just taking different ones out because I don't know what is going to look good. So I'm not going to know until I kind of take a look at it. So anyway, I think I got enough to work with. So I'm going to take those out. And now I think I've changed my mind again. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I might decide as I'm going. Let's see, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do two at the same time, who knows? Yeah, see, that could go on there. And then see, and that's what I mean by layering. You can layer these and they'll end up looking really good, and it adds even more dimension and texture. And I don't know if I want that one. Maybe I want that. Well, it looks too much like the other one. May blend in too much. Well, I think we're going to go with what we started with. So we're going to do that. What was I going to do? Where's my field notes at? Okay. I may not put those there. I may put these other ones there. See, here's what I'm talking about, adding more dimension. Let's see, if I can find another one that I like. I'll put that in the middle. And I don't, ever really know until I get to the point where I'm putting it all down, what I'm going to use, what I'm not going to use. Let's see, do I want a tag on there too? Okay. All right, I'm going to look, and then I might add a few other things to it. All right, so anyway, so now what I decided is I went in and I got, oh, this is kind of bent, but I got a few of these, and what I may do is put a few of these in there with it. I think I might take that out. I don't know if I just want the one big one though. Put that there. Maybe put that there. I don't know. I may put, let me see. May put that there. Put that there, and then that there, and then maybe a short one. Let's see. I'm trying to change up the color a little bit on these so they're not all the same color and hue. But I don't want to overcrowd it either. I don't know. Maybe this needs to go in the middle. Yeah, maybe that's what we need to do. And then put something like that over there. Okay, that works. We'll do that. Move these aside. So, and then I don't know, I may not even put anything on the bottom, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Now this is something that I do. I may not have all my elements on, and I'll go ahead and put a few on if I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything else on. And I'll go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to do, where's the other one? Just do that here. you know, this way I'm flexible. Okay, so let's see if I put that here. And do I want to put that over here? And then maybe put that a little closer in. And that over here. I don't know. I don't like, for some reason, I'm just, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this big one. I think I'm going to put these down and then I'll put my stuff over it. Okay. But I'm going to go ahead and ink this one just in case I use it. So anyways, guys, there really is no formula that I have other than I start with the background and then move forward, and that's kind of how I do it. And I don't know, it seems to work most of the time, you know. I'm sure sometimes it could be different, but it just seems like that's my formula. All right. Get this thing peeled off. It's my biggest struggle in using these. Got it going on here. Once you get it going, it's really easy to peel, but it's just getting it started. Okay, so we're gonna put this, I don't know, pretty high up, right about here. And I know it's overlapping the sewing, but oh, that's very crooked, so we're gonna have to move it. Yeah, that's a little better. All right, so now I got that down. Looks like it needs to be inked a little bit more on the edges. That's one thing, like I said, I really would love for it to be like transparent, but I got to thinking about that. That wouldn't really work because then this would be totally transparent. And it is to some degree, but not, you know, it's not totally see-through like you would be like on vellum. So let's put these down first. You know, so if it was, then, you know, honestly, then at that point you wouldn't really see anything. So I'm gonna put that right here, maybe up a little higher. Yeah, I think I like it right there. So anyways, guys, I don't know what my formula is really, other than I just try and make it interesting and put different layers. Let me see, I'm going to put that right here, down here, or maybe over here. Yeah, maybe over here. I don't want to put it right on the bottom. Let me see if I want to put a stamp in there. Let's see. We got kind of an orangey red with a brown. When I do my stamps, I don't do anything other than look for a color, honestly. I don't really, I don't know. That's what I do. So, I mean, when I'm looking for a stamp, I'm just kind of looking for a certain color. Oh, I like that stamp. Okay, let's see if I can find one I like better than the green. Let's see how that looks, maybe. I don't know. I'm telling you, it just, that's the only real consideration that I put on these, is all I'm doing is I'm just kind of Oh, I like that one too. That one really has, that's good. Maybe both of those, but then you can't see it. See, you should, one thing I know is that the more choices I have, the harder it is for me, really. Okay, I like those two. All right, I'm gonna do those two. Anyway, I'm gonna put that probably about right here. And then I might put this one. Where'd the little one go? No, I want to cover that up. I might not use it. Let's see. My issue is I don't like to have too many of the same thing down. I need something else there, kind of round or whatever. Let's see what I'm going to put. I don't know. This might be too big for that. Let's see. Hurry up and get it off. Let me try something smaller like this maybe. Yeah, I think that's better. I didn't ink it, but I'll do it. That's okay. I'll ink it after. Okay, but then I want something down here. Let's see, maybe over here. Now, I don't know if I want that. See, this is the process. I just kind of rummage through my stuff, find what I want. I don't know what I want here. I just kind of feel like it needs something else, but not something square. So let me look in. Here. Let's see what I can find. Okay. Ooh, 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 don't fall. I think I'm going to use this. I have no idea what it says, so I'm going to put it like right above here. I really want it this way. I want something that way. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Maybe this. Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right, I got it. You're going to go here. Since you're already stuck down, I couldn't get it up if I wanted to. Put this down. And I'll put that right there. I'll just slip it right here. No, I don't want to put that there. And, you know, and that's another thing. I have all of these different collections, and honestly, they're all very, very different, but they do have elements that all go together. And so I was looking, I'm like, this one has butterflies in it, and this is the Snippets Fragments, and it has a lot of cool little tiny things that at first I thought, well, what am I going to use those for? And they do work really well to take these little pieces and put them in there. And that, you got to watch, because they'll have like these really cool little butterflies and things in there. See? That's what I mean by what I do is I'll go in and I'll take the butterflies out and put them all together, because otherwise I'm like, I forget that there's butterflies in there. Okay, so on this one, I think what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this. Oh, I don't want to use that burlap. This one. Yeah, this is good right here. I just want a tiny bit on the bottom. just a tiny bit, just to kind of give it a little bit more texture. Well, I better put the top in that. So I hope I put some of that in frame while I was doing it. Sorry if I didn't. Okay, so I'm going to put that in here, and then just kind of, I'll take a little bit more of that off. Move it down a little bit. Maybe cut the edges. And then I think I'm going to use that same twine because it has red in it. Just because I like it. I have others, but you know, I'm going to just use that. But I also think what I might do is take a little of this black. No, you know what? I'll use this. This will be cool. So anyway, this is kind of my process. It's not perfect, but it's kind of a formula for me, and it works okay. See, this is why I use this, because it doesn't punch a hole. I don't know if this is usable. We'll try. But there we go again. I use the small hole on my crocodile thing, because I think it, you know, works better for the tags, but then it's hard to get the stuff through it. And so I punch it through, but when I was using those tweezers, it kind of pulled it apart. That works better. Yeah, it's still okay. We can still use it. Or anyway. All right. So pretty much, where'd my other twine go? I was going to take that. Take a piece over here that's not too messed up. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put it through here. So, and I don't know, I'm going to cut it too short to work with it, but I'm just going to tie like a little bow on top of this, maybe. Give it a little bit more interest. Pull that out. Let's see how that looks. I might not like it after I get done. Oh, it's okay. Just cut those little ends off quite a bit. There we go. So that's that one. I don't know if I like that. We'll see. It might grow on me. It might not. Anyway, guys, that's that one. Okay, so let's see how we are on time. Do we have time to do the other one? Not really. Not really, we don't. So anyway, that is kind of how I go through the process of doing these. Yeah, now that I look at it, I really don't like that at all. Okay. So, here's these two that we did together. Okay. And then, of course, here's all the other ones that I did. So, those are the ones we did. And you know, I used the same formula on all of these, you know, pretty much the same thing. I didn't really do anything different. I just picked different elements. And of course, it takes me sometimes forever to pick them out. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that works great, you know. But pretty much that's it. And I don't really have any other things that I can say other than just try and use different dimensional elements. If you don't have stickers like this, you could cut out things from books and things, because they'll be just as flat as a background, kind of like I did in my other journaling cards that I made. I used the pieces of the paper in the book, and then I put things on top. So anyway, that's all of them. And anyway, that's all I got. So if you are not familiar, I do have giveaway Fridays, and every Friday I do a giveaway. So to enter, all you have to do is be a subscriber and make a comment on a video. It doesn't have to be a new video. It can be an old video. But the comment has to have been made within that week, you know, from Friday to Friday, and one comment per video. So if you watch 5 videos and make 5 comments, you're entered 5 times. And then what I do is I take all of those comments and I, not the actual comment, but the person who made the comment, I put their name in my big fish bowl. And on Fridays, I pull from that, and I give away things like journals. I give away, I'm destashing, stuff like that. I've been giving away pieces of a quilt that I got. You know, if I find a great deal and I want to share, you know, that's how I'll do it. I pay up to $10 shipping, so I'll ship anywhere. I will say this, I have several people, there's a lot of, I think over 100 countries right now that they're not shipping to. So if it turns out that that is the issue, and you win, I will let you know, and I will hold it until I can ship it to you, because I've got that situation. And I may do that anyway if it goes overseas, because I've got one that went to Canada that I literally sent 2 months ago, and it shows still in transit. So I don't know what is going on with the overseas shipping right now, but it's not a good situation. So I may just hold it, you know, until everything clears up a little bit and we can get things back and forth. I will say that I pay up to $10 shipping. A lot of times when it goes overseas, it you know, will be over that. So I'll contact you if you decide that's what you want. Then I'll actually list it in my Etsy shop for what the difference in shipping is, and you can pay for it, and then I'll go ahead and ship it. So anyway, that is what my giveaway Fridays are, and I will be doing one every Friday. So I hope you guys stay tuned and craft with me another day, and I hope to see y'all soon. Thanks for watching.